All right, so today we're jumping into Robinhood, kind of in a little bit different way. Of course, their IPO is getting ready to go live, but it's going to add some jazz to it, and that is crypto and a lot of new topics there. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to Tech Path. Today, I'm here with my host, Lisa Francoeur. Great to have you back.
Thank you, Paul. Always a pleasure. We got a lot to unpack today, so let's dive in.
Always good to have you in studio. You bring a little extra charm and
effervescence, fun, all that good stuff.
All right, so this story on Decrypt, let's kind of break this down, take a quick look. They held a roadshow. This is ahead of their IPO on Thursday, which is coming out. By the way, I am a brand new Robinhood user. I'm a 2-weeker. So I've been using, the traditional trading apps, and then of course, the traditional, crypto
one of the
platforms.
Most easiest and streamlined way to get into the derivatives market. But now that they are opening up to crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, we're going to see some interesting things happening over at Robinhood. So let's dive into the story itself.
Yep. All right, so the company said it invested in crypto. It is going to be investing in crypto lending, staking services, and also doing a wallet. So the wallet has really kind of been the big holdback for me to go jumping in full steam. Now, I went ahead and launched a Robinhood account. Of course, I'm all over when it comes to the different platforms. Still use Coinbase Pro, Voyager, Gemini, I'm all over the place. But this was an interesting experience. What do you think about staking and lending on Robinhood?
So this is a very interesting turn of events on account of the fact that crypto, at its peak, you were looking at a $2 trillion market cap. The fact that they're considering the integration of a wallet is super significant because as it stands, if you do not have your own private key, then you don't own your crypto. So I think that that's going to be something that really brings a lot of folks to an adopter of the app, yourself included. And I also think that the staking aspect, this is unlocking a tremendous amount of value. So again, going back to savings rates being less than 1%, and on top of that, inflation being as high as it is, what's yielding the greatest return? When we talk about staking, we have to acknowledge the fact that getting paid double-digit interest rates is extremely appealing.
Sure.
So, 18 million users right now, they're going to IPO on Thursday. I imagine that number is going to surge.
Yeah, I think the key here is they've already, back in March, they said, hey, listen, we're going to jump to offering a wallet. That, of course, is going to be an interesting aspect in the sense of I think introducing a lot of people to crypto, even though I do feel like the 18 million users that are on Robinhood are most likely already into crypto. I feel like that they would be. So anyway, the good thing is they usually seem to be on track with what they say they're going to do. I want to jump back to this story right here where they said basically, Robinhood told Decrypt that the company's crypto wallet would interface with decentralized finance protocols. So this could explain their reference to lending and popular DeFi protocols. So lending, when you look at lending, there's really kind of 3 companies I feel kind of control the space. One is Celsius, the other is Nexo, and then I think the one coming in lending that is still very early will be a Voyager of being able to offer lending applications. But if Robinhood gets into this space with this, that will be an interesting new play.
So another thing I want to call out is that when we talk about, staking in general. So according to block data, DeFi protocols generated more than $370 million in revenue in May alone. Now, the reason why that's so significant in relation to what Robinhood is doing is because staking on DeFi protocols is going to give them another value add to their 18 million users, which I also believe is going to incentivize folks to adopt Robinhood. I mean, it's an extremely streamlined way to procure coins. Paul, I also want to call out the fact that 17% of Robinhood's revenue in the first quarter of this year came from meme-fueled crypto trading, and 34% of crypto revenues, which is around 6% of its total revenue, came from Dogecoin traders. I couldn't even say it right. I was stumbling and bumbling. Because for a crypto enthusiast like myself, I don't know if I believe in the meme,
Did you ever buy Doge?
fixation. I did not.
Okay. See,
I'm fundamental,
That's okay.
technical. I'm more fundamental than I am technical as far as my analysis is concerned. But I think that Dogecoin is funny, but long term, I don't see what the utility is. I don't see scarcity. So value is questionable.
Well, 30%, 36% of profit. I mean, come on, that's
I can't deny
Wall
what
Street's
is
kind of
so.
like that, but just follow the money is the way I say. Listen,
Dogecoin has been recently where the money resides.
I don't want to jump into a Doge because I know we have a lot of Doge army that listens to us and
we don't want that
watches.
smoke.
They come after us pretty heavy. When we do a Doge video, it's a very special video usually, so we're jumping to all of those applications. I want to jump to what you're talking about and that is crypto staking could balloon into a $40 billion industry.
Yes.
So this is basically an analyst from JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, who basically came out saying, hey, listen, we think the staking aspect, Dimon has actually been a little bit of a skeptic.
I was going to say
crypto,
that.
so.
He's gone on record a number of times and said, expressed his discontent and dismissal of crypto. But I mean, to follow the money, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think the key here is that you've got 40 billion potentially by 2025. I think this is still a very conservative application that we're going to see in that scenario. But the fact that Robinhood is getting into staking and moving into that space, this kind of just shows what he was talking about. CEO Jamie Dimon, known cryptic. Some of the bankers' senior analysts, their optimism for blockchain was high. That applied to something that's happening in Robinhood in the sense of staking and also other aspects of other potential DeFi projects going onto the platform. So I'm still leaning toward Cardano, Solana, and maybe even an XRP because XRP is actually.
So the plot thickens.
So this is a funny thing with Robinhood. When you launch their app, you can search out certain cryptos,
right.
and certain cryptos you cannot find. Now, you cannot buy all of those cryptos. Guess what's on there? XRP is on there.
Interesting.
So I don't know if
is
they're
that an indication of what's to come?
I don't know. Are they queuing it up? And of course, the XRP army will probably be out there going crazy on that one. The other thing is the whole staking aspect from Ethereum, because I went in.
Yes.
I purchased Ethereum in this past down. Opened up the Robinhood account a couple of weeks ago when Ethereum was really under the $2,000 mark.
Great time to buy.
And I thought, hey, let's just test it out. I understand how it works in the sense I can't move it. I've got to own it, and it's in that account. But I went out and bought Ethereum at $1,700-1,800, and I've been looking at this little run that's happening. But the thing that's interesting to me is the fact that you've got staking in Ethereum that's really blowing up.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, let's put some numbers behind it. The recent number has jumped exponentially from the past 6 months. The current value staked on ETH now totals nearly 13 billion, Paul.
Yep.
And what we're seeing is with the migration to proof of stake.
Yep.
And like the London fork, EIP 1559 is going to also reduce gas fees. So I think that these are very bullish indicators for Ethereum at large. I think that there's a lot of folks, given the utility associated with the Ethereum blockchain from NFTs, for instance, to motivate folks to not only buy ETH, but also stake on ETH. So what are your thoughts related to the what type of returns or is it a good time to buy ETH from your perspective? I already gave you my stance.
Yeah, I think, well, for me it was, when it was under 2,000, that was definitely shopping time for ETH. Even though we've seen it dip below a little bit there. But the point is when you are doing it in Robinhood, one, the speed in the transaction, I was super pleased and surprised with, because I won't say names here, on certain exchanges, on Sunday night when the market was exploding, there were certain exchanges out there that you couldn't get transactions executed on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so.
Robinhood has had that issue on the derivative side if you looked at AMC and GameStop.
I think it was a different scenario.
Okay.
Mainly because you're dealing with stock and the regulation requirement for them to cover that trade they had to have, X amount in the bank, essentially on liquid funds. That's a completely different scenario with cryptocurrency. I'm just curious of whether or not Robinhood becomes a hybrid exchange, meaning equally as popular for crypto as they are for stock trading.
And that's another thing that I think is a point of distinction, which is going to drive up the price.
Yeah.
The fact that Robinhood is, as far as I know, the only exchange that allows for crypto and derivatives to be bought within the same platform is significant.
It does present a little bit of a problem, though, for me. Okay, so I've used
Tell me more.
it. I like Coinbase Pro is kind of my go-to for just managing my major portfolio. I use Voyager for certain coins that I can't get access. I'll go to KuCoin, Gemini on certain aspects. Sure. But it's usually because I'm chasing a coin. Is the only reason I put on another exchange. What was different about Robinhood and how I track it is that I have to look at my portfolio differently because it's in the same exchange, but I'm managing cryptocurrency and stocks in the same exchange with completely different looks and feels, transaction speeds. They do have Robinhood Gold, which was kind of cool. If you sign up, you get access to it free for 30 days, but it's like $5 a month. And it does give you instant trade, I think up to 5K, so it's not huge, but if you did it every day, you could get your 5K, instant trading. So you pop your money in, you're trading on it instantaneously. I know that works. Don't give me in the comments. Of course, that works on all exchanges. But for a trading house, that's a little bit of a different scenario because typically they're looking for the clear on the bank. So that in itself is very unique. But the thing that impressed me the most still is the speed in the transaction for the ETH purchase. I was very impressed in that. And if the sale is the same kind of scenario, I think that's going to be pretty big.
Wait till they get that wallet. Because I think that,
that'll change the game.
They say no keys, no cheese. So once you're able to own and custody and move your crypto off the platform, I think that's going to, again, incentivize massive adoption.
Yeah, let's look at it here. 18 million accounts, 80 billion in assets after rapid growth. This was the July 1st, 2021 ranking, basically kind of prepping for their IPO. Assets under custody have ballooned to roughly 80 billion and get this, from 19 billion last March. So basically 1 year ago, there are 4X on assets. And when you look at their 7.2 million last year, they went to 18 million, so almost 3X on users inside of a year. So imagine that. Right now, there's an estimated 45 million people trading crypto. Let's just assume that the U.S. is 70% of that. Okay. So you think about that. Where is the market upside for Robinhood? It's massive.
I mean,
they could double in 3 years.
And that's one of the things that their IPO, which is this Thursday, is so exciting. And let's also touch upon the fact that, this is a very novel approach to IPOing in that they're opening it up to retail investors.
Yep.
This is really, I think, significant given their mission to, democratize wealth building. And so a testament to that is giving retail investors an opportunity that we rarely get.
You got it.
I wonder what the implications will be, though, and how smooth the IPO will go, because I think that the combination of institutional and retail investors, everyone's going to go gangbusters.
That's a very good point, because if this doesn't break the app,
right?
So on Thursday, does it break the app like what we've had with GameStop and those kind of scenarios? It's a different situation on this particular time. And also, Robinhood, though I'm not a big fan of Vlad, their CEO, Robinhood, I think, has fixed some of those problems. I think they realized they got caught, a little bit out of the position and said, okay, we're definitely, and he had to pretty much eat a lot of crow and go on a lot of podcast interviews, basically trying to clean that mess up. But
a little damage control.
Yeah, and I think they'll come back from it. But the point is, the app is superior. I can't say that there is one crypto exchange platform UI functionality that is even equal to that of Robinhood.
Sure.
So that's a big one for sure.
And another thing I'll add is that, mobile first, when you think about the global implications of of, living in a mobile first world, Robinhood is also uniquely situated because of the fact that their app is their domain.
Yep. I think that's going to be a big one too, especially, I mean, there are a handful of apps that have moved into that space of mobile only. Voyager is one that I wish they had a desktop version. The app, and I love you, Voyager, and I like what you guys are doing, but there are problems with the whole application when you look at the UX on how to use it.
That's one of the biggest barriers to entry in crypto.
Robinhood kills. I can't complain. All right, so we've got a $40 price for Robinhood on Thursday for their inside users. So if you're in the app, if you haven't joined on Robinhood, maybe now is the time to jump in and try to get going. It may take a little bit to get your funds in there, so it might be too late for that by the time you see this video, but maybe not. Give it a try. Where do you think this is going, though? Do you think this is going to take the stock
to the moon?
To 50? You think it'll hold? Do you think it's going to dip underneath?
Honestly, I think it's going to run up.
Yeah.
I think it's going to run up way past the 40 mark. And I think that because of the fact that retail investors, which, if you think about the community, right?
Yep.
The Robinhood community, they've, been extremely popular within retail investors. And to your point around like the Wall Street Bets crowd and what happened with GameStop and AMC,
Yep.
I think that you're going to see a surge in adoption on account of that being the domain for retail investors to really plant their flag and say, we're here and we have a voice and watch us work.
Very cool. I want to hear from you guys, and that is down in the comments. We love to get your feedback, kind of give us your input on where you think Robinhood is layering. I'm kind of curious, would you consider, if they get the wallet in, this is the precursor here, you get the wallet and you get staking, this year in 2021, during this next bull run phase, would you be willing to start trading your cryptocurrency on Robinhood? Let me know in the comments below. If you are listening over on the podcast.
I answered Paul's question for you.
There you go. All right. If you are over on the podcast, make sure and leave us some stars. That's the best way for us to get feedback from you.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button. Of course, we want to hear from you, so comment below. And sharing is caring, so make sure you're you're sharing the knowledge and the insights you're gleaning from TechPath.
All right, so again, thanks a lot for listening in today. Of course, if you have any ideas for the show, you can easily send that to us, which is just producer@revernetworks.com. You can also hit me up on Twitter @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.